The cake had 27 candles. I'd counted them twice while the bakery boxed it up that morning, made sure they got the number right. It was stupid, maybe, caring about candles at 27. But it was my birthday, and I wanted something to be exactly right. The restaurant was one of those Italian places with check tablecloths and breadsticks you could smell from the parking lot. I'd reserved the back room for 15 people, sent calendar invites 3 weeks ago, and confirmed twice. Mom, Dad, my sister Claire, her boyfriend Derek, aunts, uncles, and cousins. The people who were supposed to show up when you turned another year older and wanted to pretend it mattered. I got there early. 30 minutes early, because I'm that person. Checked the table setup, made sure the cake was refrigerated properly, and adjusted the little "Happy Birthday, Matt" banner I'd bought because the restaurant didn't provide them. Claire arrived first, which surprised me. She was usually fashionably late to everything, a trait she called making an entrance, and I called disrespectful to everyone's time. But there she was at 5:45, 15 minutes before the reservation, wearing a dress that looked expensive and holding Derek's hand like she was steadying herself before a performance. "Hey, birthday boy," she said, hugging me with one arm. The other hand stayed locked with Derek's. "Thanks for coming early. You never come early." "Well..." She glanced at Derek. He nodded, barely perceptible. "Actually, we need to talk to you about something before everyone gets here." My stomach did that thing where it knows bad news is coming before your brain catches up. "Okay?" She pulled out a chair, sat down, positioned Derek next to her like a human shield. "So, you know Derek and I have been together for 2 years." "I know. I was at your anniversary dinner. The one where she'd complained about the wine selection for 40 minutes while I picked up the check." "Right. Well, we have news. Big news." She looked at Derek again. He squeezed her hand. "We're engaged." For a moment, I just stared at the ring. It caught the overhead light, sparkled aggressively. Substantial. Expensive. The kind of ring that demanded attention. "Wow," I said, because what else do you say? "Congratulations. That's great. We wanted you to be one of the first to know." She was smiling, but it had that brittle quality her smiles got when she was nervous. "Because you're my brother, and this is important, and we're telling everyone tonight," Derek finished. "At dinner. We thought, since everyone's already gathered." The words landed slowly, like coins dropping into a jar. My birthday dinner. They were going to announce their engagement. At my birthday dinner. "Tonight?" I said carefully. "Is that okay?" Claire asked, but not in a way that suggested my answer mattered. In a way that meant she'd already decided and was offering me the illusion of choice. "I mean, everyone's here anyway. It's perfect timing." I looked at the banner. "Happy Birthday, Matt." The cake in the kitchen with 27 candles. The reservation I'd made and confirmed and reorganized my schedule around. "Sure," I heard myself say. "Yeah. Of course. It's great news." Her face relaxed. "Oh, good. I was worried you'd be weird about it." Weird about it. Like having boundaries about my own birthday was a personality flaw. When would I ever be weird about something? I said, keeping my voice light. She laughed. "True. You're always so chill about everything." Chill. That was the word they used. Chill. Easygoing. No drama. What they meant was convenient. Forgettable. The kind of person whose birthday could be repurposed without guilt. The family started arriving. Mom and Dad together, Mom carrying a gift bag that was definitely a shirt I wouldn't wear. Aunt Linda with her new boyfriend. Uncle Tom. Cousins Rebecca and Jason with their kids. Everyone hugged me, said happy birthday, made the obligatory "another year older" jokes. I smiled and thanked them and felt like I was watching myself from somewhere else in the room. Dinner started normally enough. We ordered appetizers. People asked about my work, my apartment, whether I was dating anyone. Standard birthday dinner questions. I gave standard birthday dinner answers. And then, between the appetizers and the entrees, Claire stood up. She tapped her wine glass with a fork, that universal signal for "I have an announcement." The table quieted. So, she said, smiling at Derek. Derek and I have some exciting news we wanted to share with everyone. I watched Mom's face. Watched the exact moment she understood what was happening. We're engaged! The table erupted. Mom gasped, actually gasped, and rushed around to hug Claire. Dad stood up, shook Derek's hand with that firm grip dads do when they're pretending they always approved. Aunt Linda started crying. Rebecca immediately asked about wedding dates. The noise was deafening. Everyone talking at once, asking questions, congratulating them. I sat in my seat and watched 27 candles melt slowly in a kitchen I couldn't see. Matt, Mom said, finally noticing me. Isn't this wonderful? Your sister's getting married. It's great, I said. Really great. We should get champagne, Dad announced. This calls for champagne. He flagged down the waiter. Order 2 bottles. The expensive kind. The entrees arrived and no one noticed. They were too busy talking about venues and dates and whether spring or fall was better for outdoor ceremonies. Claire pulled out her phone, started showing Mom Pinterest boards. I've been planning this for months, she said. I have so many ideas. Months. She'd been planning this for months. Which meant she'd known, when I sent the calendar invite for my birthday dinner, that she was going to do this. The cake came out eventually. The waiter carried it with the candles lit, 27 tiny flames flickering. He set it in front of me and the table sang happy birthday, but only because the waiter had started them. Their hearts weren't in it. They were already back to talking about Claire's dress budget before the last note finished. Make a wish, Mom said, distracted, already turning back to Claire. I blew out the candles. Didn't make a wish? Couldn't think of one that wasn't just, I want to leave. They cut the cake. Small slices, because everyone was full from dinner. Most of them didn't finish it. The conversation returned to the engagement. Derek's family. The guest list. Whether 6 months was enough time to plan. I excused myself to the bathroom. Stood in front of the mirror and looked at my face. Still the same face. Still my birthday. When I came back, the check was on the table. Dad was reaching for it, but Claire caught his hand. Actually, let me and Derek get this. It's the least we can do. Nonsense, Dad said. It's Matt's birthday. We'll split it. I picked up the check before anyone else could. I've got it, I said. Matt, you don't have to. Mom started. I know. I've got it. $347. For a birthday dinner that became an engagement party. I put my card down. Signed the receipt. Left a 20% tip because the waiter had tried. Everyone was gathering their things, still talking about the wedding. Claire was making plans to go dress shopping with Mom next weekend. I stood up, grabbed my coat. Thanks for coming, I said to no one in particular. Oh, honey, Mom said, finally looking at me. Are you okay? I'm fine. Just tired. Long day. She hugged me. Happy birthday, sweetheart. 27. My baby's 27. Not really a baby anymore, Mom. You'll always be my baby. But not baby enough to remember this was supposed to be my night. I hugged Claire. Congratulated her again. Shook Derek's hand. Thanks for being cool about the announcement, Claire whispered. I knew you'd understand. I smiled. Said nothing. Drove home in silence. Parked in my apartment complex. Sat in the car for 10 minutes before going inside. My phone buzzed. Family group chat. Claire had changed the name to Wedding Planning, with 3 exclamation points. Message after message. Venue ideas. Date options. Color schemes. Not a single person said happy birthday. I sat on my couch. Opened my laptop. Started going through old messages, old photos. Found something interesting from 8 months ago. Claire had sent me screenshots by accident. Meant to send them to her friend Kelly, but hit my name instead. She'd realized immediately, sent a flurry of, "Wait, delete those," and, "OMG, wrong person." I'd said I deleted them. I hadn't. They were screenshots of her texts with someone named Marcus. Complaining about Derek. Talking about hooking up. Saying she was only staying with Derek because he had stability, and she didn't want to start over. The texts were dated from when she and Derek had been together for about a year. I'd kept them because I keep everything. Digital hoarding, my therapist called it. A way of maintaining control. But looking at them now, I felt something shift. They'd taken my birthday. Turned it into their moment. Did it knowingly, deliberately, with full awareness that it would hurt. Fine. I could be gracious. I could be understanding. I could be the chill, easygoing brother who never made waves. Or I could save these screenshots. Hold on to them. Wait for the right moment. Not out of anger. Out of balance. They chose my day for their announcement. Maybe I'd choose their day for mine. I created a new folder. Labeled it Insurance. Saved the screenshots there. Backed them up to 3 different places. Then I turned off my phone and went to bed. 6 months until the wedding? Plenty of time to decide what kind of brother I wanted to be. The morning after my birthday, I woke up to 17 new messages in the wedding planning chat. Mom, I called the Ashford estate. They have availability in October. Claire, October is perfect. Fall colors, not too hot. Not one person had circled back to ask how my birthday was. My phone rang within 5 minutes. Claire. Matt, I need your help. Derek's brother is supposed to be best man, but he's flaky. I need someone responsible to coordinate groomsmen stuff. You're perfect for it. Perfect. The word they used when they meant useful. What would that involve? Normal stuff. Plan the bachelor party, coordinate suit rentals, make sure everyone knows where to be. Nothing major. I said yes. Because that's what I did. And I started keeping track. The first month was a blur of expenses. Suit rental meeting where Claire picked charcoal gray at $180. When I hesitated, she said, "It's one day, Matt. Don't make this difficult." I paid. Made a note in my phone. Suit $180. Wedding party dinner at some upscale place where appetizers cost $20. When the check came, everyone suddenly found their phones fascinating. I covered it. Meeting $83. By week 6, I was planning the bachelor party solo. Derek's brother bailed completely. I booked a cab in upstate, organized everything, spent $840. But something happened that made it worthwhile. Derek got drunk on the second night. We were alone by the fire pit, everyone else asleep. You know what's weird? He slurred. Claire used to be so different when we started dating. More fun. Now everything's about appearances, about what people will think. I stayed quiet. Let him talk. There was this guy. Marcus. She worked with him. I always thought something was off about how much she mentioned him. Then one day she just stopped talking about him completely. Like he never existed. My heart rate picked up. Marcus. The same name from those screenshots. Did you ever ask her? Once. She got really defensive. Said I was being insecure. So I dropped it. He stared into the fire. Maybe I should have pushed harder. I filed that away. Derek had suspicions. He just never confirmed them. Week 10 brought an unexpected discovery. I was at my parents' house helping Dad fix the garbage disposal. While he grabbed tools from the garage, I noticed Mom's iPad on the counter. Unlocked. Open to messages. A family chat I wasn't in. Wedding inner circle. Mom, Dad, Claire, Derek, and Aunt Linda. I scrolled fast, hands shaking. Messages about keeping costs down by having me handle logistics. Discussion about how I'd never say no. So they should utilize that. Claire joking about how I'd paid for dinner and probably didn't even realize it was supposed to be our treat. Dad's response. He's always been easy. Never makes waves. I heard him coming back. Closed the iPad. Went back to the disposal like nothing happened. That night, I added those screenshots to my insurance folder. The weeks blurred together. More expenses, more requests. The florist increased their quote by $800. Claire cried on the phone. I can't afford it, but I can't change the flowers. Could you help? I'll pay you back. We both knew she wouldn't. I transferred the money. Flowers $800. She texted. You're literally the best brother ever. Around week 16, I met someone. Sophia. We matched on an app, had coffee, actually connected. She was a teacher, funny, asked real questions about my life. On our third date, she asked about my family. I have a sister. She's getting married soon. That's exciting. Are you close? We're related. She laughed, thinking I was joking. Week 20, Sophia met my family at Dad's barbecue. She was great with everyone. Warm, charming, asked the right questions. Claire pulled me aside in the kitchen. She's nice. But you should probably tell her you can't bring her to the wedding. Why not? We're over capacity. Plus you're in the wedding party. You'll be busy all day. Wouldn't be fair to her. You said I had a +1. That was before we finalized numbers. Come on, Matt. You understand. I understood perfectly. When I told Sophia, she looked at me for a long moment. Matt, that's not normal. You're in the wedding party. You should be able to bring a date. It's easier to just go along with it. Is it though? She shook her head. You're a good person. But you let people treat you like you're optional. I can't watch someone I care about do that to themselves. We broke up 2 days later. The final month was chaos. Claire had daily meltdowns about napkins, timelines, a bridesmaid dropping out. The rehearsal dinner happened at a restaurant I'd booked. Derek's family forgot their wallet. I covered it. Rehearsal dinner $640. Running total $3,426. $3,426 for a wedding where I wasn't allowed a date. 1 week out, Claire asked me to drive her to a final dress fitting. In the car, she was quiet. Then, do you think I'm making a mistake? My hands tightened on the wheel. What do you mean? Sometimes I wonder if Derek and I are right for each other. If we're getting married because we love each other or because we've been together so long it feels like the next step. I could have said a lot of things. Could have asked about Marcus. Could have mentioned the screenshots. Instead, everyone gets cold feet. Yeah. You're probably right. She looked out the window. Thanks for being here through all this. I know I've been crazy. But having you to depend on, it helps. Depend on. Not support. Depend on. Like I was a service. That night I opened my laptop. Looked at everything I'd collected. Screenshots of the wedding inner circle. Chat. Records of every expense. Photos of Derek drunk confessing his doubts. The original Marcus texts. Timeline of every moment they'd used me. I created anonymous accounts. Untraceable. Then I drafted a post. Simple. Clean. Factual. The truth about Claire Richards before she becomes Claire Morrison. Select screenshots. The Marcus text showing the cheating. Messages from the family chat about manipulating me. The financial breakdown. Not anger. Just information. Let people decide whether to show up. I set it to post Saturday morning at 8 a.m. 2 hours before the ceremony. Then I waited for doubt to kick in. For guilt. For second thoughts. They didn't come. Instead, I felt something I hadn't felt in 6 months. I felt awake. I woke up at 6 a.m. on Saturday. The wedding was at 10. The post was scheduled for 8. My phone was already buzzing. Wedding party group chat. Derek. Can't believe it's finally here. Nervous LOL. Claire. Best day of our lives starts now. Mom. My baby girl is getting married. I turned off notifications and made coffee. My hands were steady. That surprised me. The post would go live in 2 hours. Anonymous account untraceable. Screenshots of Claire's texts with Marcus. The wedding inner circle. Messages. My expense breakdown. All timestamped, all real. I titled it simply, Before you celebrate Claire Morrison, know who she really is. 193 people were following the anonymous account. I'd spent weeks building it up in local wedding groups, adding Claire's guests strategically. Brides sharing vendor recommendations. Photographers. Venues. I'd made it look legitimate. When the post went live, 193 people would see it immediately. They'd screenshot it. Share it. We would do the rest. I opened my laptop. Looked at the scheduled post one more time. My finger hovered over the delete button. Then my phone rang. Unknown number. Hello? Matt, it's Derek's mom, Patricia. I'm so sorry to call this early, but I need to talk to you about something urgent. I sat up straighter. Is everything okay? That depends on what you know. Her voice was tight. Derek called me last night. Very late. He'd been drinking. Said some concerning things about Claire. About whether he should go through with this. My heart started pounding. What kind of things? He mentioned a name. Marcus. Said he'd always wondered if something happened there. Then he started talking about how Claire seemed more excited about the wedding than about him. About marriage as a performance rather than a commitment. I stayed silent. Matt, you're her brother. You know her better than anyone. Is my son making a mistake? I could have lied. Could have said Derek was just nervous, that everything was fine, that cold feet were normal. Instead, I asked, did Derek tell you why he's suspicious about Marcus? No. Just that Claire got defensive when he brought it up years ago. But a mother knows when her son is trying to convince himself of something. She paused. Is there something I should know? I looked at my laptop. At the post scheduled to destroy Claire's wedding in 90 minutes. Mrs. Morrison, I can't make this decision for Derek. But I can tell you that if he has doubts, he should probably listen to them. That's not really an answer. I know. She was quiet for a moment. Derek's at the venue already. Setting up with the groomsmen. But he seems distracted. Distant. If you care about him at all, please talk to him before this happens. She hung up. I sat there with cold coffee and a decision to make. The post would ruin Claire. That was the point. She'd hijacked my birthday, used me for 6 months, treated me like unpaid staff. She deserved consequences. But Derek was collateral damage. He hadn't done anything except be oblivious. My phone buzzed. Text from Claire. Where are you? Need you at venue now for setup. Another text from Mom. Claire's asking for you. Don't be late today of all days. I closed my laptop without deleting the post. Got dressed. Drove to the Ashford estate. The venue was beautiful in morning light. Staff setting up chairs, florists arranging centerpieces, photographers testing angles. Everyone moving with choreographed efficiency. I found Derek near the terrace, adjusting his tie in a mirror. He looked exhausted. Hey, I said. He turned. Matt. Thank God. I need help with this tie. Can't get it right. I walked over, started fixing it. His hands were shaking. You nervous? Is that what this is? He laughed, but it was hollow. I barely slept. Kept thinking about everything. About whether this is right. Cold feet are normal. That's what everyone keeps saying. But this doesn't feel like cold feet. This feels like. He trailed off. Have you ever known something was wrong but convinced yourself it wasn't because changing course seemed harder than just moving forward? I finished the tie. Stepped back. Yeah. I have. Claire's great. She is. But sometimes I wonder if I'm marrying who she actually is or who she wants me to think she is. The post would go live in 73 minutes. Derek, what would you do if you found out Claire had been lying to you? About something big. He looked at me sharply. Why are you asking that? Just hypothetically. Is this about Marcus? I didn't answer. His face changed. Oh God. Something did happen with Marcus, didn't it? I'm not saying that. You're not denying it either. He sat down heavily on a bench. How bad? I thought about the screenshots. The texts where Claire complained about Derek being boring. Where she talked about hooking up with Marcus. Where she said she was only staying for stability. Bad enough that you'd want to know, I said quietly. He put his head in his hands. Why are you telling me this now? 2 hours before the wedding? Because your mom called me. Said you had doubts? And I figured you deserved to know the truth before you made a decision you can't undo. Do you have proof? I pulled out my phone. Opened the insurance folder. Showed him the screenshots. He read them in silence. His face went pale, then red, then pale again. She was cheating on me. Yeah. And talking about me like I was some consolation prize. Yeah. He handed my phone back. Stood up. Walked to the edge of the terrace and stared out at the lake. I waited. Everyone's here, he said finally. My family. Her family. 150 people. The caterers, the band, the photographer. Everything's paid for. I know. What am I supposed to do? Walk out there and call it off? Humiliate her in front of everyone? I don't know. He turned to face me. Why are you showing me this now? You've known for how long? 8 months. 8 months. And you waited until today. I thought about telling you earlier. But it never felt like my place. Then your mom called and said you were having doubts, and I realized if I didn't say something now, I'd be letting you marry someone under false pretenses. Very noble of you. His voice was bitter. What am I supposed to do with this information now, Matt? That's up to you. We stood there in silence. I could hear people arriving. Cars pulling up. Voices greeting each other. The wedding machine grinding forward. Derek pulled out his phone. I need to think. He looked at the time. Shit. It's almost 8. The ceremony's in 2 hours. My laptop was in my car. The post scheduled for 8 a.m. In approximately 45 seconds, 193 people would see Claire's secrets posted online. Unless I stopped it. Derek, I said carefully. What if everyone else found out too? Not just you. What if all the guests knew before the ceremony? He looked at me. What are you talking about? Nothing. Forget it. I pulled out my phone. I need to make a call. I'll be right back. I walked quickly to the parking lot. Got in my car. Opened my laptop. 7:59 a.m. The post would go live in 60 seconds. I stared at the delete button. If I did nothing, Claire's wedding would implode. Guests would see the post, start talking, spread rumors. By the time the ceremony started, half the audience would be whispering about cheating and family drama. Some wouldn't even show up. Claire would be humiliated. Devastated. It would be spectacular revenge for what she'd done to my birthday. But Derek was in there right now, processing betrayal in real time. He didn't need a public spectacle added to his private pain. 7 hours 59 minutes and 47 seconds. 50 seconds. I thought about my birthday dinner. 27 candles melting while everyone celebrated Claire's engagement. The $3,000 I'd spent. The +1 I wasn't allowed. The wedding inner circle chat where they joked about using me. 7 hours 59 minutes and 55 seconds. 45 seconds. My cursor hovered over the delete button. This was what I'd wanted. What I'd planned for. The perfect revenge. Let the consequences fall where they deserved. 8 hours. The post went live. I closed my laptop. Walked back toward the venue. My phone started buzzing immediately. My phone lit up like a slot machine. Text after text. The anonymous account exploding with reactions. I walked back toward the venue. Derek was still on the terrace, staring at his phone. It's everywhere, he said quietly. Someone posted about Claire. About Marcus. People are asking if I knew. I know. He looked up sharply. You know? How? His eyes widened. That was you. I didn't deny it. You posted this 2 hours before our wedding? You deserve to know the truth. I deserve to hear it privately. Not blasted across social media. He was right. I told myself this was about justice. But watching Derek's hands shake, I realized something uncomfortable. It wasn't just about Claire. It was about me feeling powerful, about making them see me. And Derek was paying the price. Before I could respond, Claire appeared. Hair half done, makeup smudged. Derek, she said, voice breaking. Please. Let me explain. Explain what? That you cheated? That you talked about me like I was a backup plan? I don't know what you're talking about. Derek showed her his phone. I watched her face change as she recognized her own words. Where did you get those? Someone posted them online. Anonymously. Claire's eyes snapped to me. Matt? You announced your engagement at my birthday dinner. So this is revenge? You're destroying my wedding? I'm showing people who you actually are. Screenshots from 2 years ago. Marcus was a mistake. Are you? Derek's voice was cold. Because it sounds like you chose financial stability. People say things they don't mean when venting. For months, Claire. You were sleeping with someone else. She turned to me. Matt, please. Tell him those are fake. They're real, Claire. You know they're real. How could you do this? You're my brother. And you're my sister. But that didn't stop you from using me. From having a secret chat where you joked about manipulating me. Her mouth opened. You saw that? I saw everything. Claire's phone rang. Mom. She answered, listened, went paler. Okay. I'll be right there. She looked at Derek. Guests are leaving. Maybe 30-40 people. 40 people. Not 60% like I'd imagined. Just 40 making their own choices. Derek pulled off his boutonniere. I'm leaving too. Derek, no. I need time. I can't marry you today. Maybe not ever. Please. He gently removed her hand. I'm sorry. We walked to the parking lot. Behind us, Claire sobbing. In the car, Derek was silent. Finally. Was it worth it? Did it feel as good as you thought? I thought about Claire's face. About Derek homeless and heartbroken. No, I admitted. It really didn't. At my apartment, Derek collapsed on the couch. My phone was still buzzing. Mom, how could you do this? Aunt Linda, you should be ashamed. But also Jake. That took guts. You okay? Derek's brother. Thank you for telling him. And Patricia, Derek's mom. I'm not happy about how it happened, but I'm grateful my son knew the truth. I showed Derek that last one. He nodded. My mom never liked Claire. My phone rang. Claire. I declined. Then Mom called. I answered. Matt, you need to come back. Your sister needs you. She needs her real family. The wedding inner circle. Silence. You know about that? I've known for months. We didn't mean anything by it. You coordinated how to use me without me noticing. You're being oversensitive. And you're being dismissive. Like always. I took a breath. I'm done being the person everyone uses and nobody sees. Claire made her choices. Now you make yours. I hung up. Derek was watching me. That was brutal. Yeah. Feel better? Not really. We ordered pizza. Derek fell asleep around 10. I scrolled through the aftermath. 300 shares. Comments ranging from supportive to vicious. I'd wanted consequences. I'd gotten them. But sitting there in the dark, I realized something. Revenge doesn't feel like winning. It feels like everyone losing together. 3 months later, Derek had his own place. We'd become friends through shared trauma. Claire and I hadn't spoken. The anonymous account got taken down, but screenshots lived on. Her reputation took a hit. Derek told me she tried reaching out. He wasn't interested. I'm glad I know the truth, he said over coffee one day. But I wish I'd found out any other way. I'm sorry. I know. He stirred his coffee. You and Claire need to talk eventually. Not for her. For you. This much anger will eat you alive. He wasn't wrong. But I wasn't ready. 6 months later, I ran into Claire at a coffee shop. She was with someone new. She saw me. Froze. I walked over. Hi. I said. Hi. Cautious. This is Jason. My brother Matt. Awkward handshake. I should go. I said. Wait. She touched my arm. Can we talk? Jason excused himself. I'm sorry, she said. For everything. Your birthday, using you, the inner circle chat. I was selfish. Okay. I don't expect forgiveness. But I needed to say it. Silence. Do you regret it? She asked. Every day. Not because you didn't deserve consequences. But because that's not who I want to be. She smiled sadly. That's growth. Expensive growth. Jason came back. Claire stood. Take care, Matt. You too. I watched them leave. Felt something shift. Not forgiveness. Just accept that some bridges burn, and that's okay. My phone buzzed. Derek, beer tonight? I smiled. Yeah. Your place or mine? Some relationships end. Others begin. I'd wanted revenge. I'd gotten it. And learned that revenge is just everyone losing. But in losing my family, I'd found something more valuable. I'd found myself.